This episode is brought to you by Vital Farms. Isn't it bullshit to have to question where your food comes from? At Vital Farms, you can trace your pasture-raised eggs all the way back to the source, the pasture. On the side of each pasture-raised carton of eggs, you'll find the name of the farm where your eggs were laid. And when you look the farm up on their website, you'll get a peek at all the sunshine, fresh air, and open space the hens enjoy. Learn more and find out where to buy them at vitalfarms.com. Vital Farms, keeping it bullshit-free.
Welcome to Daily Leadership Lessons, where we explore the principles, practices, and habits of successful leaders. Each day, we will delve into a new topic that will inspire you to become a better leader. From communication skills to emotional intelligence, from building trust to creating a vision, we will cover it all. Join us on this journey of self-discovery and growth. Let's learn together how to lead with purpose, passion, and clarity. Encouraging a culture of learning, tips for incentivizing knowledge sharing. As a manager, how you react and respond to mistakes can have a significant impact on the culture of your team. Creating a culture where mistakes are expected, accepted, and used as learning opportunities is essential to building a strong, productive team. One way to foster this type of culture is by incentivizing knowledge sharing. In this article, I will provide tips for incentivizing knowledge sharing, measuring its success, and improving engagement levels to ensure that your organization is getting the most out of this valuable resource. Creating a culture of learning and growth. I often advise managers to prioritize creating a positive work culture that values learning and growth over blame and criticism. One key aspect of this is how you react and respond to mistakes at work. Mistakes are inevitable, but how you handle them can impact the culture of your team. If you react with blame or criticism, it can create an environment of fear and distrust. Instead, you want to foster a culture where mistakes are expected, accepted, and used as learning opportunities. One of the biggest mistakes that first-time managers make is trying to conceal their own mistakes, often by ignoring or even hiding them. Prioritizing blame avoidance over learning and growth can have a considerable negative impact on your team's motivation and productivity. Rather than avoiding or concealing mistakes, I advise managers to adopt an investigative approach. When people feel that their mistakes are treated fairly and with compassion, they will be more likely to take responsibility for them. To do this, create a process to investigate incidents in which mistakes occur that will help you uncover the underlying cause of the mistake. This will help uncover systemic or process failures that may be at the heart of the issue while simultaneously fostering trust that can help strengthen your team. When your team sees that you value honesty and transparency, they will feel more comfortable coming forward with their own mistakes. This can be a powerful way to build trust and encourage learning and growth. Another important aspect of creating a culture of learning and growth is to reward people for sharing what they learn after a mistake. When you incentivize knowledge sharing, fewer incidents happen and team collaboration improves. To encourage knowledge sharing, you could create a failure wall in the office where employees post their failure stories and what they learned from them. Or you could start your weekly team check-ins by talking about a failure of the week and congratulating the employee on their learnings and knowledge contributions. For example, a client of mine who runs a small marketing agency started a failure of the week segment during their weekly team meetings. Every week, one team member would share a failure they experienced that week and what they learned from it. This helped to create a culture where mistakes were expected and accepted. It also helped the team learn from each other's mistakes, which led to fewer incidents and improved collaboration. Mistakes are inevitable, but how you handle them can impact the culture of your team. As a manager, it's important to prioritize creating a positive work culture that values learning and growth over blame and criticism. Don't avoid or conceal mistakes. Instead, adopt an investigative approach that uncovers the underlying cause of the mistake and fosters trust. Reward people for sharing what they learn after a mistake to incentivize knowledge sharing and improve team collaboration. By creating a culture where mistakes are expected, accepted, and used as learning opportunities, you can build a stronger, more productive team. Examples of how to incentivize knowledge sharing. There are many ways to incentivize knowledge sharing, some of which I have seen work well in various organizations. Here are a few examples. Recognition and rewards. One of the most effective ways to incentivize knowledge sharing is through recognition and rewards. This can be as simple as publicly acknowledging and thanking team members who share their learnings and best practices. You could also consider offering monetary or non-monetary rewards for sharing knowledge, such as additional vacation days, gift cards, or opportunities for professional development. Learning and development opportunities. Another way to incentivize knowledge sharing is by offering learning and development opportunities. For example, you could offer training sessions or workshops on topics related to the knowledge being shared. This helps team members develop new skills and stay up to date with the latest trends and best practices in their field. Mentoring programs. Mentoring programs can be a great way to incentivize knowledge sharing. Pairing experienced team members with newer ones can help transfer knowledge and expertise, while also building strong relationships within the team. Gamification. Gamification is another effective way to incentivize knowledge sharing. You could create a leaderboard that tracks the number of knowledge-sharing contributions made by each team member and offer prizes or recognition to those who contribute the most. Overall, incentivizing knowledge sharing is an essential part of creating a culture where mistakes are expected, accepted, and used as learning opportunities. By implementing one or more of these strategies, you can encourage your team to share their knowledge and best practices, which can lead to improved collaboration, increased productivity, and better outcomes for your organization. Common challenges organizations face when incentivizing knowledge sharing. When it comes to incentivizing knowledge sharing, many organizations face challenges that can hinder their efforts. Here are some common challenges and how to overcome them. Lack of trust. One of the biggest challenges organizations face is a lack of trust. Team members may be hesitant to share their knowledge out of fear of being judged or penalized. To overcome this challenge, it's important to create a culture of trust and transparency. Encourage open communication and make it clear that mistakes are expected and accepted. Time constraints. In today's fast-paced work environment, team members may feel that they don't have time to share their knowledge. To overcome this challenge, make it easy for team members to share their knowledge. Use tools like chatbots or AI to make it easier for them to ask questions and get answers. Lack of incentives. Another challenge is a lack of incentives. Team members may not see the value in sharing their knowledge if there are no rewards or recognition. To overcome this challenge, offer incentives that are meaningful to your team members. This could include additional vacation days, gift cards, or opportunities for professional development. Resistance to change. Finally, some team members may be resistant to change. They may be used to working in silos and may not see the value in collaborating and sharing their knowledge. To overcome this challenge, it's important to communicate the benefits of knowledge sharing and how it can lead to better outcomes for the organization. Tips for improving engagement levels in knowledge-sharing initiatives. I have seen many organizations struggle with engagement levels in knowledge-sharing initiatives. Here are a few tips to improve engagement. Make it easy. The easier it is for team members to share their knowledge, the more likely they are to do it. Make sure that your knowledge-sharing platform is user-friendly and accessible. Consider using tools like chatbots or AI to make it easier for team members to ask questions and get answers. Lead by example. As a leader, you can set the tone for knowledge sharing in your organization. Share your own knowledge and best practices with your team and encourage others to do the same. When team members see that you value knowledge sharing, they are more likely to follow suit. Encourage collaboration. Knowledge sharing doesn't have to be a one-way street. Encourage team members to collaborate and share their knowledge with each other. This can lead to more creative solutions and better outcomes for your organization. Offer incentives. As I mentioned earlier, offering incentives can be a powerful way to encourage knowledge sharing. Consider offering rewards or recognition to team members who contribute the most to your knowledge sharing initiatives. Solicit feedback. Finally, it's important to solicit feedback from your team members on how to improve your knowledge sharing initiatives. Ask them what would make it easier for them to share their knowledge and what topics they would like to learn more about. Use this feedback to make adjustments to your initiatives and improve engagement levels. By implementing these tips, you can improve engagement levels in your knowledge-sharing initiatives, which can lead to a more knowledgeable and productive team. How to measure the success of incentivizing knowledge sharing. It's important to measure the success of any initiative you undertake in your organization. When it comes to incentivizing knowledge sharing, there are several metrics you can use to measure its success. Here are a few examples. Number of contributions. One way to measure the success of incentivizing knowledge sharing is by tracking the number of contributions made by your team members. This could include the number of posts on a failure wall or the number of ideas shared during brainstorming sessions. By tracking this metric over time, you can see if there is an increase in the number of contributions being made, which indicates that your team is more willing to share their knowledge. Engagement levels. Another way to measure the success of incentivizing knowledge sharing is by tracking engagement levels. This could include the number of team members attending training sessions or the number of views on a knowledge-sharing platform. By tracking this metric, you can see if your team is actively engaging with the knowledge-sharing initiatives you have put in place. Feedback from team members. It's also important to gather feedback from your team members on how they feel about the knowledge-sharing initiatives you have put in place. You could conduct surveys or hold focus groups to get their input on what is working well and what could be improved. This feedback can help you make adjustments to your initiatives to better meet the needs of your team members. Impact on business outcomes. Ultimately, the success of incentivizing knowledge sharing should be measured by its impact on business outcomes. This could include improvements in productivity, efficiency, or quality. By tracking these metrics, you can see if your knowledge sharing initiatives are making a positive impact on your organization. Measuring the success of incentivizing knowledge sharing is essential to ensure that your initiatives are having a positive impact on your organization. By tracking metrics such as the number of contributions, engagement levels, feedback from team members, and impact on business outcomes, you can see if your initiatives are working and make adjustments as needed. Conclusion. Incentivizing knowledge sharing is a powerful way to create a culture of learning and growth in your organization. By tracking metrics such as the number of contributions, engagement levels, feedback from team members, and impact on business outcomes, you can see if your initiatives are working and make adjustments as needed. By following the tips outlined in this article, you can encourage your team to share their knowledge and best practices, which can lead to improved collaboration, increased productivity, and better outcomes for your organization. Remember, creating a culture where mistakes are expected, accepted, and used as learning opportunities is key to building a strong, productive team, and incentivizing knowledge sharing is an essential part of achieving that goal. Thanks for joining us for this episode of Daily Leadership Lessons. Please share with your colleagues and friends, and please join us again for our next Daily Leadership Lesson. We wish you a productive, effective, and fulfilling day.